Hello, welcome to Tony's Bonsai. I wasn't going to do a video today, I was just going to work on a tree, and then I thought I may as well record it. I've got a really interesting juniper here that I've been working on for a couple of years, so let's take a closer look. This is a cheap garden centre juniper. I think it might be like a green carpet or something. And it did okay in its first year. I did a bit of pruning and that kind of stuff, repotted it, and a lot of the branches died off. So we've ended up with this. Everything really all comes from this one branch here, all this, and there's a little bit up at the top. But what's happened without me trying is I think it's created a windswept style. It naturally all leans this way, and it's almost shouting out for that. So the first thing I need to do is make a decision on where the front is. I've spent half an hour looking at this tree, trying to work out where the best front will be, and I'm kind of undecided. The S shape of the curve looks best from here, but that doesn't work because everything's on the back side. Equally from round here, everything's coming right at us, so we can ignore those two possibilities. The other options are sort of here, which I like the S of the trunk. I like this branch here that can be manipulated and brought around. But equally, when I move it to the other side, I also like this line. It's the same line, it's just from the different side. And what I've decided is I'm not going to make a decision on the front. I think it will look good from either of these sides, and I can make that decision in the future. And first of all, now I need to get on with just applying some wire. I've just spent quite a while wiring up a couple of, well, one thicker piece over here and over this thicker branch, and then increasingly thin pieces of wire. And I've not wired the really fine stuff at the tips, but I've got most of the sort of secondary branching wired up, and now's the time to see if I can design it into some kind of good looking tree. I'm looking forward to this. I've tried to position the camera with the trunk in the centre, and so hopefully you can see this from all angles as I rotate it and work on it. And my first thing is to get this trunk moving more towards you. I'll just bring that round there like that. That's good. That moved nicely. I like that. As for the top, I kind of like this, although it'd be nice maybe if I could just bring that round a touch like that. And because it is, the idea is that this is a windswept style, I want my branches kind of flowing away from the tree. I'll show you from above. This should hopefully be a better viewpoint for you. So as you can see, the tree's going that way, and I love this movement that comes across here and round. So that one there, I think it's in a great position. I'll just twist it here to just push that, and I really like the flow of that branch there. I think that works well. In fact, I think it could come round a touch more, but I want this one also to come round into the flow as well, like that. I can tweak these ones a bit later. I'm just sort of putting them all in that general direction like that. So that's kind of created one flat pad there. This one here, I want also to go in that direction, but I want to create a level change. So I think that wants to come higher. But before I decide what to do with that, I'll work on this branch here. It's underneath this one, and I want this to come round, and I do want this on a different level to this. It's naturally a bit higher, so what I will do is I I will bring this into another plane from, in fact I'm going to drop that first one a little bit more as well. So that first plane is now quite close to the ground. This one here is above it. So eventually I want some clear separation between these two levels, and I've got a few branches like this one that are pointing down that I can remove, and that'll create this space here. But again, it's got that flow with the wind, so the idea is, you know, these branches have been manipulated, well, not manipulated, they've been driven by the wind, but I would like a bit more movement on that there. This one can come down and fill this space there. I've not done a lot of this type of work, very little in fact, because this is more developed technique, you know, working on more of a kind of structure to the tree once the basic shape has been put in place, whereas most of the trees I work on, they tend to be bending trunks and doing the primary movement. So I like that. I like that. They look good from the side, although quite messy, but I can sort that out. This is going to sit really nicely. If I can just move that round a touch there. It's going to sit as a nice pad above. So we've got kind of 1 level, 2 level, 3 levels, and then it's what to do with this branch here. And I'm a bit unsure about that. Now that we can see these different levels, there's quite a few of these branches that are hanging down that I now know can be removed. They're spoiling that idea of a pad, and this will clean the lines up. Now I've not removed anything off these trees so far, because from my experience you just don't know which ones you're going to want to keep and which ones will end up staying. So let me move my chair. So I definitely like the placement of this lowest pad there, sitting horizontal. I also like the placement of this one. That works well. Maybe just could come a touch higher, like that. In fact, what I'll do is I'm going to drop it and then bring it up and then across, just because that'll make that branch more interesting from this side. So from round here now, this branch has got more interest. Instead of just going straight, it goes down and up, and it's just slightly lifted this pad up. So that works. I'm happy with that. Good. I still don't know what to do with this. This is in a weird kind of position. I'm almost tempted to completely remove that, but I don't want to. So what I'll do is I'll bring it up and around, and just kind of set it on a similar level to this back pad, but a little higher. So it's kind of filling this gap here. Up there. This is good. I've got a few upward pointing branches as well. These ones want to be removed. Great fun, this. Great fun. This is what bonsai is all about. Getting creative. Sort of trying to put our design onto a piece of material. So these ones under here, they can be removed. Again, the ones under here, can go. I'm cautious about removing too much material from this tree because it has struggled for health. It's not been the healthiest of my trees, and so I don't want to remove too much of this greenery. I can do this anytime. These little downward pointing ones, they can be done in the future in style. And if I do it now, it'll give a better look kind of to the video, so it'll give a bit more of a wow factor and people go, wow, good transformation. But my priority is still to get this tree, keep this tree healthy. Yes, it's nice to produce a good video that people enjoy. The health of the tree has to still be the primary kind of motivator, if you will, behind what I do. There is a temptation when you're creating videos like this. Other people who create videos will know. And the temptation is to do things that look good, that you know are not necessarily great for the health, but you think, you know what, it'll look good now, it'll give me that impact. See, if I can just get a bit more height onto this, like that, that's better. That adds some extra space, which I think works well. And you've got to remember that, well, that allows me as well to pull these up a little more. You've got to remember this tree will grow, so it's not going to be this size for the rest of its life. And as it grows, I can sculpt these spaces between the pads. I think that'll do me. Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that because I want to leave the health in the tree. That's enough. We can see the three pads, definitely. You can definitely see them. The sort of the top pad, that pad, this pad, and from the back, this pad here. It's interesting to look at it from both sides because sometimes you get a slightly different view. I was just taking one final look behind the camera and I've noticed something that I didn't see before, and it's the fact that this goes up, this comes down from this same point and creates this kind of C shape there. And I just don't really like it. It grabs my eye and looks too much like a kind of pitchfork. So I'm wondering if I can do something to that by changing the angles. I think I need to. And how I'll do that is by, instead of this one coming up and across, I'll make it a bit more gradual like that. That's not really worked. No, I think perhaps it needs to come across, then up like that, and then round. And by doing that, it throws that C shape off. It still leaves this in the gap between the top and the back branch, which I like. Let me look from behind the camera. Yeah, I prefer it. Now that was absolutely great fun. I loved styling this. It's by no means a finished tree, but I think it's heading in the right direction. Well, that direction. You can just imagine the wind working on this over the years on the top of a mountain and it forming into that shape, and I love that. The main structures are now in place. Perhaps I'll adjust these and change them, and I'm sure I will over the coming years. The wire will be coming off in the summer and I'll be reapplying the wire. To keep track of the progress of this tree, you know what to do. But apart from that, as always, thanks for joining me. Have a great day and I'll see you soon.